Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Hunting Grounds. Out here walking my driveway, checking in on the clover and the soybean plots, and doing some narration for this episode. And when I was walking down the driveway, I found a buck track that is a great buck track for what you find here in the Ozarks. Take a look at this. Now we have had some rain here this week, but for a hard surface driveway and here in the Ozarks, that's a good buck track pretty much probably anywhere. So it's just encouraging because I am so ready to be in my advanced tree stands and putting some time in the stand, but we can't do that quite yet, you know. But we have had a busy week. We went up to my family's and had a small family reunion, celebrated our independence and our freedom. Got out there, we shot shotguns, and my sister even showed up some of the guys that were shooting out there. So we had a blast doing that. And to top it all off, I drove up there with my parents in my mother's vehicle, drove my dad, my mom, and my aunt. On the way back down, we had quite an event. There was some kid that had been avoiding the police all day, I guess, up there, and multiple times, I guess. And he had been pulled over. We ended up passing him, and he took off from the cop, and the cop ended up losing him. Well, he found the rear end of our bumper as we were going down the highway at 50 miles an hour. I don't know what he was doing. Got in a pretty bad fender bender there. We're all a little sore and bruised, but we are okay. And just a way to end an eventful 4th of July. But we've had a lot going on here on the Hunting Grounds. It is my birthday today, shooting this episode, because I'm going to release it tomorrow. And so I'm not going to do a whole lot, but we have some really cool updates for you guys. We have some stuff going on later this week I'm going to keep you guys updated with. So we're going to have a bunch of videos coming out here soon, because we're doing a lot of stuff here on the Hunting Grounds. So got a few things I want to show you. Let's go take a look. So here we are in an area. If you remember earlier this year, I did an episode on doing some timber stand improvement, coming in and cutting out some blackjacks. Well, I am currently standing in that area. It's approximately probably an acre and a half area here that I came in and strategically cut out blackjack oaks. Now, if you guys don't have blackjack oaks in your part of the country, what they are here, they are an oak tree. They do produce little acorns. Deer don't really prefer them. They'll eat them as like a last resource, if they even have to touch them anytime in the year. Otherwise, they're going to sit there and rot. Now, blackjacks also do a number on your chainsaw. They will dull your chain faster than anything. And so a lot of people don't even like to cut them for firewood. So I came into this infested area of blackjacks and I cut nearly 200 blackjacks down out of this area. Just simply fell them over, strategically laid them down, and it's created a lot of great bedding. It's got a lot of sunlight coming through the canopy now, so you're getting a lot more additional growth down here. Deer are bedding in here. There's been a lot of fawns in here, and it's doing exactly what I want it to. And I've left a lot of the hickories and red oaks and white oaks in this area, some of those mass crops that the deer really like. These are all producer trees, and eventually, once the conditions get right, maybe this fall, or I might even wait till the spring, I'm gonna come in here, burn it, and it's going to allow the decomposition process to start on these blackjacks. Now, a nice thing and not so nice thing about the blackjacks is they take time to start really breaking down. The nice thing about that is all these branches will get really hardy, as you can see here. Vines will be able to have structure to grow up on and create some great bedding, but also at the same time, if you want to get rid of them and you want them to decompose and go away quickly, they aren't really a tree that is going to do that. But this place has been doing phenomenal. The deer have been in here a ton lately. They've been bedding in here and really taken to this area just like I want them to. Right behind me is where I've got one of the clover food plots, and back here is the area that we have one of our eagle seed food plots. Every single evening, deer flood out from this timber on this side, whereas last season they weren't doing that. They were coming in from the other end and they were using this field, but planting the eagle seed soybeans. This year, you're seeing a lot of browse in here. I can see the deer come in every single evening. This area is doing exactly what it's supposed to do, and it just shows with some really hard work and some good hours in here, doing some timber stand improvement is going to improve your property. Don't just go in and think you have to plant food plots and put out mineral sites. timber stand improvement is one of the most effective long-term solutions for managing your property. Now, speaking of bedding, where I went into that select cut on the blackjacks right next to a food source, created some great bedding right next to a food source, and the deer absolutely love that. Now I've done the same thing on the back of my property right next to the Eagle Seed soybeans. I came in here earlier today, got some wind, but I started brush hogging this area. Now a lot of people are going to go in and plant their food plots all the way against the tree line. There's a few reasons I don't like to do that. One, you are then making your food plot compete with the root systems of your timber. There you aren't going to get as good a growth out of your food plots. The other thing, by going in and creating this barrier, as you can see back here, I've got almost a 30-yard barrier from my food plot to the timber that I let grow in native grasses. Deer absolutely love bedding against this area. They bed in this tall grass, which was tall, and then they come in, feed in the clover plot, and they can feed in the soybean plot and go easily back to bed, or they'll bed out here throughout the night. It gets that bedding right next to the food source again. Now the reason I came in and I brush hogged it is I was getting a lot of woody plants coming up into this native grass area. This has been the first time that I've brush hogged it since almost a year ago, and it did really good earlier this year. Had a lot of grasses growing up in here, but as summer has got here, it turned into a lot of lespedeza, a lot of young saplings and stuff that I don't want growing in. So I came back, brush hogged it all down, and my hopes is that it's going to get enough rain, it's going to grow up in some great grass, create some good bedding, some new browse. Deer like it when you freshly cut grass because it grows in, it's nice and lush and tender, and it's easy for them to digest. But hopefully this will be the last time that I have to brush hog this field, even till maybe next year. So we're going to see how this does. We're going to see how it controls the lespedeza. Hopefully the lespedeza is kind of done for the season. Grasses come back in, creates some good bedding, good browse for the deer. And I know the deer are going to be in here. The turkeys are absolutely going to love it. I waited also because I wait for the turkeys to be done nesting, for the poults to be big enough to be out of here. The fawns are now big enough that they aren't in here and they can escape a tractor if I'm going a couple miles an hour in here brush hogging. So it's hopefully gonna work out for the best. All right, so here's one thing that I was pretty excited about finding when I was out here brush hogging. If you guys remember a couple episodes back, I suspected that we had a groundhog munching on all my soybeans and doing some major damage in the soybean plot. Well, I put up the Spy Point trail camera on it for a little while, just a couple of days, but then I needed to move it to get some other video of some dozer work and stuff like that. I'm gonna show you guys later. So I didn't really have time to capture the groundhog, and he didn't ever come into frame. But I suspected it was a groundhog. While I was brush hogging, I kind of left this area untouched. I went around it so I didn't bug him too much. But if you take a look, there's a nice groundhog hole there. It doesn't look like he's really been using that entrance a whole lot. Normally they'll have a couple entrances to these, or he can get up and move to another hole that he's got here or there if he decides to stop hitting on the Eagle Seed soybeans for a while and start hitting down on the clover plot. So we're going to put up a Spy Point trail camera on this, see if he's in here, see if we need to start setting up here, and see if we can take out this groundhog before he does too much damage. The soybeans are now coming in pretty good. I went through and I sprayed them, eliminating some of those weeds that the groundhog was helping come in because he wasn't allowing the soybeans to get tall enough to eliminate some of that weed competition by shading them out. So I've helped give a little bit of boost to those soybeans, hopefully get him on camera, and we'll just have to see if we get lucky enough to catch him on camera. Well guys, that's gonna wrap it up for this week's episode. It's my birthday. I'm gonna go celebrate with some of my friends and go play some ultimate frisbee and have a little bit of fun. But we are gonna be producing a ton of stuff. We got a lot of work we're gonna be doing out here this weekend and this next week. So follow us on all our social media accounts. If you haven't subscribed on YouTube, be sure to subscribe there. Also down in the description on YouTube, we do have THG merchandise now for sale. It helps us be able to spend more time in making these videos if you guys go through and purchase some of that stuff. Plus, we'd love to see you in it, love to see pictures. Guys, if you have any comments, comment down below, give us a thumbs up, and please share this video. Guys, until next time, go out of your way to get a youth or new hunter involved in the outdoors, and as always, have a better than average day. Say goodbye to Journey. Journey, they want to say goodbye. Say goodbye.